this is how you make a live action series. I did not expect, as a fan of One Piece, to feel like a child watching this, but that is just how good it is. It really does deliver. This week, I have been watching season 2 of the One Piece live action show on Netflix. I've watched season 1, this is season 2, which came out recently, and from the very beginning, I must admit that I kind of feared the worst. There are many adaptations from manga, anime into live action, and not just that, but live action adaptations in general, and they're always a bit of a risk. But this one, the vibe from the very get-go is spot on. I absolutely loved it. It's a reason for it being such a massive success, and that is from everything down to the casting of the characters to the way that you kind of have to suspend your reality for a minute, just to really appreciate every moment and every detail they go through. Now, we're not going to talk about every episode today. We're not going to go into all the depths and details. We just want to keep it top level, talk about how it made us feel and the vibes and everything like that. So stick around if you're interested in that, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. I should definitely get used to saying that more. But yeah, let's start from the beginning. So why it was risky, and this is where it gets interesting. So I've seen so many different things. Like recently I watched the Bleach movie on Netflix, and that was actually what I would consider to be a good adaptation, but there are many examples of bad ones. Disney, I'm looking at you. A lot of their older style cartoon things they've turned into live action hasn't really worked for me. But suspending that reality when you're going into One Piece, that is key. We all know that a lot of anime can be totally absurd. One Piece is right up there with that absurdity, you know, the gum, punching, kicking, stretching, whatever you want to call it. Luffy's powers are absolutely wild, and there's no way that you can make that look realistic. You can't sit there and go, well, this would never happen. You know, they are going to have to go up against, like, fly the ship upwards, up a mountain, like, ride it on the waves. They're going to have to be inside of a whale. They're going to have to do all of these things. They're going to have to fight 100 people at a time with Buggy the Clown splitting up into millions of pieces and then bringing himself back together. That's just One Piece for you. There's a lot of craziness that goes on, but I just think they absolutely nailed it. The whole sort of set pieces, design and everything like that, the ship, the Going Merry, is all instantly recognizable, and that's the key. That's what you want from an adaptation like this. You want to be able to recognize the things immediately. You don't necessarily want it to all be dark and gritty and kind of like realism mode. I'm going to keep saying that word because it's important. You have to take this with a pinch of salt, and that is exactly why I was transported way back to when I was a kid. You know, coming home from school, you'd be like, right, it's cartoons o'clock. Are we going to be watching Pokemon? Are we going to be watching Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblade, One Piece, Dragon Ball? Who knows? It could be any number of shows that I chuck on, but it's always going to be something completely wacky and out there. One Piece is the pick of the lot, and I have not watched this. I haven't watched One Piece for a long old time, but still, every time a character came on, I kind of recognized them almost immediately. Not with every single one. I think it's because I haven't seen it for so long that my memory of the story kind of faded, and I was like, who's this supposed to be? But generally speaking, you look them up and you go, okay, yeah, I can see it now. I see the vision. And yeah, absolutely loved it. So that's the kind of general vibe they go for. I know that people were disappointed with some of the costumes. I think it's fine. Again, they're not going to be perfect, but I think they're believable enough that it really just makes you think, wow, like I am actually in the One Piece Like, I'm in the hunt for the One Piece. I'm there with them. This could be it's exactly how I would envision it when I was a kid. Like, if it was real, this is exactly what my imagination would have brought to life. And the actors do such a brilliant job of all of that. It's really, really fun and really, really good to see. But importantly, we have to remember that this pacing of this is a lot quicker than the anime. Now, the anime has got like over 1,000 episodes, 1,300 odd, I think, at this point. I'm not sure. I'm a little bit behind. But this has inspired me to go back and sort of maybe start it from the beginning, which is a crazy thing to say, but I did it with Pokemon. I feel like I can catch up with One Piece as well. It's not unrealistic. Not for me anyway. 4 or 5 episodes a day. We'll be done within a year, right? I think. But yeah, I think the pacing of this is pretty good. So you kind of skip a lot of the filler things. It means it's a lot more action, a lot more going on. They do skip over a lot, and that's fine because they do a good enough job of bringing along new fans where you don't really have to know anything about the backstory. They introduce everybody, they tell you what's going on. You've got the overarching goal of finding the One Piece. You know the main points, and so it's fine. And I think that's going to really bridge this gap and why it's being so successful between One Piece fans, casual viewers, younger audiences, as well as older generations. It's kind of got a bit of something for everyone, as long as you can put yourself in the shoes and in the mindset of this isn't going to be perfect. It's made for kids. It's, well, not necessarily kids, but younger people and people who are nostalgic like myself. You have to kind of put yourself in that mind frame, but other than that, spot on. Like, one of my favorite characters is Monkey D. Luffy. Absolute legend. And the actor plays him really well. So you do have those kind of, I was going to say dumb. He's not necessarily dumb, but just going with your heart decisions, thinking with your like stomach as opposed to your brain sometimes, and just wanting everybody to, be happy. He wants everybody to get along. He wants everybody to just follow their passions, follow their goals, and just come along for the ride. And you feel like you're being invited aboard the ship, and he's your captain, and he's not going to steer you wrong, even if some of his decisions are questionable. And the costuming for Luffy as well is pretty decent, I think. There are, only so many things you can do with red outfits before you start looking like you've got them off of a cheap website somewhere. And but I think the costume is pretty decent. Obviously, the straw hat is iconic, and it all looks really good. His powers, obviously, like I said, the Gum, it does look a bit weird sometimes, but in terms of like action and adventure, like they do a really good job with that as well, and I absolutely love it. He is such a cool character. Like I say, he's a proper captain, and he just wants everyone to do well. I did find, however, which I didn't think before, I never used to be like a huge fan of Sanji, but in this live action, I've really grown to like him. I don't know why. I think it's maybe because he's less exaggerated. He's a bit more normal in this one, so he still has that kind of charm about him. Does a lot of flips and kicks and all that good stuff that you would expect. He feels, to me, maybe I'm forgetting this, but he feels like a much deeper character. He's got like the whole backstory with him, and like becoming a chef is all in there. But he just feels like a really well-rounded character in this. Maybe he's going to be this like ladies' man or whatever. He's got a hint of that in there, but it just doesn't seem to be as in your face as I remember it being. And that's pretty cool. So he feels like a good rounded character, and he's very like cool. He's always very cool. Shout out to obviously like the other members of the crew. Like Nami's obviously great. She's played really well. Obviously instantly recognizable as well. Same with Zoro, who is one of my favorites originally, but Sanji's kind of up there now as well. They look so good. And it's even the side character, you're talking like, I can't remember her name, but the lady that they've picked for in the new one, Doctorine, the little laugh that she does, the again costuming and everything, the mannerisms, it fits. It's immediately recognizable, and it's just really, really cool. Same with Smoker. Smoker's another one, really, really good. Again, Buggy, like I said, pretty obvious because he's the one in the clown outfit and stuff, but he does really well. That kind of maniacal side to him is really cool. Yeah, just all of the characters really, it's just like, I can't praise it enough. It's just so much fun, and sometimes that's all you need. You just need fun. And yeah, if they can do good action and they can do comedy and things like that along the way, so be it. But I just want to sit there and pretend I'm 13 years old and I'm like home from school and I've got my like Sprite can and I'm sat with my blanket, like just live in the moment, you know? There's so much other stuff going on in the world that I think we need more shows like this. And yeah, it's exactly how a live action should be made. I do not enjoy when they go for that dark, gritty kind of adaptation where maybe the powers are dumbed down or just not there at all. Maybe the kind of creatures have been like had things taken away from them so that they don't seem unrealistic. But I just love when something, if you're going to go for it, like I said at the beginning, or this should be the standard for all live action like versions of things. If you're going to go for it, you have to just go for it, right? You're going to have some wacky and weird things like podiums made out of candle wax and all that kind of weird stuff. It has to be in there. It just has to. And yeah, it just makes it so much better. Generally, what can I say? I think I've already said it's made for all types of people. I feel like there'll be some really hardcore fans out there who aren't happy with it, mostly because of the pacing and the way that it's, you know, the people that are never going to be happy because it's not how they imagined it in their mind. I think you've got to suspend that slightly and realize that they've actually done the best that they possibly could with this. I don't think it could have gone any better with the casting or anything like that. And I really enjoy the effects and things as well. So I think it definitely brings in all of the people that it needs to. I'm very interested to see how far we go with it, because it'll be strange. I think I saw something where someone said if they continue at this pace to catch up with where we are now in the anime, the actors will be like in their late 40s. So obviously it's not going to be the same. So they're going to have a cut-off point somewhere, or they're going to have to skip a lot of story in order to catch up. Which route they're going to go down, I would imagine it's going to be the first one where they just cut it at a certain point, and then maybe later on down the line recast some people, or, you know, if it becomes a different arc, you can almost get away with, well, these are different people playing the characters because it's a different arc. That might be a thing that they decided to do. I'm not sure though, and if you have watched it, please let me know in the comments what you thought. I just thought it was fantastic, and yeah, I cannot wait to see more. I hope you enjoyed that real quick whistle-stop tour of me getting my thoughts out, but I just had to talk about One Piece. It's just been incredible. What a bingeable show as well. I think I smashed through that quicker than I have anything recently. It was one thing that when season 2 came around, oh, actually, tell a lie. Paradise was another one. I really want to get stuck into season 2 of Paradise because I loved the first season. But yeah, it's the first time in a while that something like this has come along where I've been like, I have to watch the new season immediately. Usually it all goes on the watch list. We're backed up. We're watching things from 2017 still, trying to get through. But I'm slowly catching up, and there's sometimes you've got to make an exception. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like I said earlier. Next week, we're going to be talking about, I'm not really sure, but there'll be something good coming your way. I know I want to talk about Superstore soon, and I want to talk about Killing Eve. So maybe we'll talk about Killing Eve. That's something slightly different. Not anime, but again, something that I have a lot of thoughts about. So stick with me. I hope you do. And whatever you get up to this week, I hope it's good. It's Easter Sunday this weekend, and I will be visiting family, which should be a lot of fun. We got a few extra days off work as well, which is always nice. And yeah, then it's back to the office and back to normal, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.